Uncle C, back in the office, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing and breaking down exactly why the high value man is completely doomed if things don't change. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Casey Zander. I'm here to revitalize masculinity and help make men full stack. So this whole title may sound some bit contradicting to a lot of you because majority of men today ultimately think that the high value man has life completely made. The high value man oftentimes has the pick of the litter when it comes to dating selection, but not to mention the current state of men typically categorizes high value as two things. If the man is of some sort of status and or celebrity, he instantly has a grandfather pass to the top. Or number two, if he is wealthy. And if he has the combination, what happens is that is all it takes to be high value or to be considered high value. And men oftentimes think that the dating game is extremely easy, life comes easy, and they have no struggles. Here's why that's completely okay. If you look at what the typical high value man runs into today, the high value man has absolutely zero standard. Like, not a single standard at all. I took notes to break this down, so if you see me glancing down from time to time, that's why. But if you watch what the high value man is doing, I want you just to think of somebody you idolize, or think of a celebrity at the top. Think of somebody who has, a high social status, maybe a little bit of fame, maybe a little bit of money. Here's what happens. That man ends up giving his time, his energy, his resources, his attention, and his validation to virtually any woman that he deems beautiful. He once again is still a slave to his pleasures. See, it's not that he's in control or he's in a standpoint of power with his own life. It's that his pleasures and his deeper innermost desires and insecurities still run him. And the reason being is because what that man is looking for is S3 actual companionship. Now, here's why that is the fastest way to not only have high value man crumble, but this is the quickest way to ultimately lead to dating destruction when it comes to both. I'm going to explain. When you look at the men at the top, okay, the men who are the highest earning, the men who are the highest in celebrity, things of that nature. The problem is that women who display 100% only physical qualities and or beauty are the women who instantly have access to him. Now, these women will go to great lengths for that beauty, okay? They will go through any sort of lengths, whether that be certain cosmetic enhancements, makeup, anything of that nature. But the problem is that if that's all it takes to have access to a high-value man, he is still freely giving himself away, and he is no longer in control of his own life. His pleasures are in control of him. The S3 actual intimacy and validation he feels by getting or sleeping with the next woman is ultimately why not only is he of low quality, but the screening potential for the women that he is looking for. Notice, the high value men at the top, if beauty is all it takes, high value men have no standard. The reason why high value men are not full stack, the reason why high value men have no standard is because the only standard that they have is beauty. So when you take a look at what's actually going on, like on a deep level, the women who display beauty at whatever lengths instantly have access to them. Here's why this is a problem. All of the good feminine qualities that typical men will look for, or oftentimes a high value man should be looking for, this is things like loyalty, okay? This is things like, being a good bet for potential motherhood. This is things like looking for a woman with good feminine qualities and good personalities, a nurturing spirit, things that a man would actually want. These things are not necessarily being represented. Okay? If all the woman has to do is show a little bit of curves and put some makeup on, and she instantly has a sea of direct messages and can filter her pipeline and essentially has an application waiting list of guys who want her, do you understand just how far you give your value away? Do you understand just how far gone the high value man, or any man for that matter, is? Not only have women lost all respect for all men, but men have freely given their respect away, and this is on every single level. So here's what happens. The same men that are complaining that women are hard to keep, the same men that are complaining that women are hard to please, the same men that are complaining that women are hard to date or disagreeable or hard to be with, these are the same men where the only thing that they're qualifying themselves and her on is promiscuity and how fast they can get her into bed. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that this is a recipe for success or a recipe for absolute disaster? Because if you look at what's actually going on, the masculine spirit is completely being destroyed from the things that that man should be focusing on. Things like his purpose, things like his mission, things like actually building legacy for himself. Things like surrounding himself with a high-value brotherhood or social circle and ultimately having a standard so that way the woman does not become the only standard that he chases. You see, these things are drastically important because these same men who are complaining about promiscuity, these same men who are complaining about the ways of the dating game, these are the same men who only select women who promote themselves. And if the woman promotes her body, she instantly starts to have options at the top. This is why the high-value man is completely doomed. Because while majority of women, even if they do, this is why the high-value man is completely doomed. Because while there are women who actually do possess good feminine qualities, those women today are completely overlooked, and high-value men at the top are only selecting women off purely looks, purely beauty, and the quicker and the more she is self-promoting, the quicker and the faster and the easier it is for her to have access to him. Here's where I give you a game plan. Here's where we actually break this down step by step so that way you can take something out of this. There is two things as a man you must protect at all times in order to keep your strength and to keep your sanity. The very first is your time. Every second of every minute matters. It's crucial. A high-value man only puts his time not only towards dating companions that deserve it, but ultimately towards things that yield an ROI in life. The second is his attention. You see, when you give your attention away to all of the wrong people, all of the wrong women, even women who are absolutely beautiful, 10 out of 10 stunning dimes, but you know that there's no substance, you know that there's nothing more to it. These men giving their attention away to other things, what will happen is you will notice they have no mental bandwidth. Their thoughts are completely scattered. It's hard for them to focus. They are not happy. They are not fulfilled. And they've given their power away on almost every single level. Fellas, this video had to have resonated because if you're not able to see this, you need to truly open your eyes and wake up. The high-value man is completely doomed. And the problem is that we have not crafted leaders. We have not crafted men of pursuit and of excellence. We have crafted followers. And we have crafted men who define high value based off what the television or Instagram or the next guy told them that high value was. It's totally trash. It's never going to last. And you have to see that this video, with that said, I genuinely hope that this video resonated. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, check out some of the links below, subscribe to my weekly newsletter and updates, and we'll see you in the next one.